I'm at my house this week again because you would think San Francisco, summer, warm, sunny. No. When the summer hits in San Francisco, this odd phenomena occurs where the opposite happens. It becomes windy and cold and foggy. And so yeah, it's just so cold outside, and I didn't feel like going to the garden today because it's just so cold. So I'm at my house. And I'm tired this week, man. I'm tired. I don't know about this week, but I'm tired right now. I'm so tired right now. I really don't feel like making this video, but I'm gonna make it. I don't know why I'm so tired. Nothing in particular bad happened, to be honest. I just think I'm kind of like, maybe finally, like the last 2 weeks have been very high energy. Like from demo day, YC ended, so demo day happened. Presenting in front of like all these people, all the investor stuff, like the 50 calls that I took with investors, locking down all the money, like all at the same time. Like we got like 1 million views last week on our demos that we put out. Like there's just a lot of stuff happening. Tons of new customers. I think we hit our highest all-time customer. Like we added. Like last week we added more customers. We added more customers last week than in any other week that we've been working on the product. And so much has been happening, like such a high quantity. And you would think that these are all really good things, right? These are all very good things. But I think they still take energy. Like, I don't know how to describe it. Like the way my brain works is like, I do my best work when like I'm in like a quiet, dark room with like music playing. Ideally with other people that I get along with that are working on the same thing. But I don't do well with like a lot of like interjections, a lot of like calls, meetings, other things happening. Like I like when stuff is like high energy but in my own brain. And I don't like it when the world is like demanding my energy, if that makes sense. But I think as a founder, I've kind of come to terms with this, like that does happen sometimes. Like sometimes the world does demand your attention, and that's okay. I'm okay with that sometimes. But I feel like there's different seasons to it. Sometimes you have those little patches of time where you have to be someone who has 50 calls in a week. Sometimes you got to be that guy, and sometimes you're just the guy that's in the dark room playing music, making magic. I prefer the second, the latter. But yeah, I think that's why I'm tired. I don't think I'm tired because I don't like what I'm doing or anything like that. I just think like, just tired because there's a lot going on, man. There's just a lot going on. And so I think the best thing that I can do this week is kind of just start to reel it back a little bit, start to do more of the stuff that energizes me again, start to do less of the stuff that is like taking away from my energy, and just take it step by step. I think this week will probably end up being a slower week. I'm not gonna necessarily take it easy this week, but the way I think about weeks like these is just like taking it a little bit slower, like for me at least. Wait, what does that mean exactly? I guess it means on weeks like these where I know my energy is lower, I kind of take it easier on myself. I'm less critical of myself, and I demand less of myself. I still demand a lot. Like my default of how much I demand from myself is still extremely high, but it's definitely lower on weeks like these. And I think that's kind of the trick. I feel like in previous, when I was like 25 or when I was working at my previous company, I feel like I would be low energy certain weeks because, a lot happened the previous week, and I would demand so much of myself the following week. And that's just hard. It's almost impossible because you're trying to like get energy from a bucket that's already low on like energy. Like what is this analogy? Like it's if you have this bucket full of energy and it's already low and you're trying to get more out of it, but there's nothing in there. And so you gotta kind of give yourself time to like rest and recover. But the problem is with starting companies is that there actually is no time to rest and recover. This is not like basketball where like you play 7 months of the year and like you're not playing 4 months of the year or whatever their schedule is. The thing about starting companies is you're always on. Your brain has to always be active. And now you may think, oh, that means I must always be working. I must always be on. No, I think for me that's not what I want to do for this company. For example, like I have to almost build in these lower moments for myself. These moments where I'm lower energy, or these moments where I'm not lower energy, but demanding less of myself, you know? I can't necessarily play at my peak potential every single week. Of course, I'd want that and I'd aim for that, but that's impossible. That's like asking LeBron James to play at the peak of his potential every single day for like 20 years. Impossible. And I think when you're starting a company, your career is way longer than an athlete. Your career is like 40, 50, 60 years. And so the way I think about my career and my mentality going into, you know, this part of my, I guess my career is that I'm aiming for longevity, right? And yes, I can't just randomly take you know, 3 months off per se, right? But what I can do is on weeks like these, I think just pulling back a little bit and being a little bit less demanding of myself, making my schedule a little bit easier, going home a little bit earlier each day, and kind of like recovering a little bit while I'm still kind of like moving, while I'm still kind of working. I think that is the trick that I'm trying to kind of like, that's the balance that I'm still trying to find. And I think that balance, I think I'm very close to finding that balance already. But I think as the company gets busier and busier, it's gonna be very interesting it's gonna be very interesting to find how I continue to keep this balance. But my hope is that I'll always keep it. Anyways, yeah, that's the week. I figured I didn't really talk about anything. Wait, should I talk about something? Demo day was fun. That was fun. I did a real live demo, actually, a demo day. So I think we had like 200 companies present, and 5 of them did live demos. So I actually had to make sure that my demo worked live in front of everybody, which was fine. I feel like I've done so much stuff in front of audiences now where I don't get nervous at all. I actually am just, my emotion is more like, when can this be over? So I can go home and like, you know, eat some ice cream or something. That's more my emotion. So that was fun. My parents visited me last week, so that was also, so again, there was a lot going on last week, like all these new customers, raising money, demo day, my parents, and I feel like that was like a bunch of stuff, good stuff happened. So my energy is a little bit lower now. You know, it's funny. It's funny how I'm this aware of my energy now, whereas like even just 4 years ago, if I were to be feeling this way right now, my answer would be to like work even harder and grind even more because I don't know, I didn't know what else to do. And so it's so cool that like I'm able to now just take a moment for a second and understand what's going on in my brain and then move forward. Yeah, that's cool. Very bullish. I'm very bullish on myself, actually. So sometimes I'm like, damn, if I keep this up, I'm gonna win. No. Sorry guys, I have no thoughts. I'm just tired. But I'm glad I made this video, I guess. That was the week. Going into this week, I'm really focused on just talking to a lot of people who are using the product. And so that's kind of my main kind of focus this week. My like A+ is like, learn more about the people who are using Hey Clicky, and understand who they are and why they're using it. So I think this is one of those weeks where I want to not necessarily build, but I want to really understand what's going on. I feel like we've been throwing shit at the wall for the last 9 weeks, and a lot of good stuff has happened. Like usage is amazing, customers are coming in, but I'm still like, I don't actually understand why people pay for this thing. Like I can't actually just tell you, I can't put it in one simple sentence. And I feel like I'm trying to achieve that clarity right now with what we're building. So yeah, all good problems, all good stuff. I'm feeling good overall, a little bit lower energy, but again, it's all good. And that's it. Yeah. Talk to you guys next week. Bye.